What's up, y'all? Back with some more Destiny 2 news, and this video is going to be covering the brand new 9 supers and the perks that go along with them, the details, all that good stuff for Destiny 2's Forsaken expansion. Going to be covering the details as far as coming from Game Informer. They're doing a cover story on Forsaken, revealing a whole lot of stuff, so I wanted to dig into the supers first and foremost. That's exciting to me, hopefully exciting to you guys too. I want to get into all of these, talk about my thoughts as I'm going over them one by one, and first we're going to go over the Hunter. The gunslinger's called Way of 1,000 Cuts. Now the melee throws a fan of knives, spread shot lights enemies on fire. The perk, killing enemies who are on fire, recharges your melee, and burning enemies recharges your dodge. Your super's called Blade Barrage, which player tosses a bunch of explosive knives. Now my first thought is how cool that perk sounds, because burning enemies recharging your dodge, if that works on say an incendiary grenade, burning an enemy recharging your dodge, Wormhusk Crown can dodge, get your health back, that type of good stuff. Also the super, want to know how many explosive knives can you throw? Is it going to be on a meter? And hopefully the meter isn't so short like Golden Gun is right now. But moving on to the next one is Night Stalker, called Way of the Wraith. This is definitely my favorite one. Melee smoke bomb slows enemies and does a lot of damage. Your perk is precision kills, let players turn invisible. Also grants true sight, allowing them to see through walls. Super is spectral blades, turning the hunter invisible and lets them sneak around and slay enemies. Oh my god. Precision kills, letting players turn invisible and allowing them to see through walls is so good. And the super is pretty much Blade Dancer, which I love, being able to go invisible with R2 and then just slam all with R1. I'm very happy to play Night Stalker all the time. Next is going to be Ark Strider, called Way of the Current. Melee is activated by sliding before attacking. Causes hunter to use their staff to deal more damage with electric uppercut. The perk, melee hits, lets you reload more quickly. Hitting enemies with melee multiple times disorients them and recharges abilities. Abilities electrify enemies. Your super is called Whirling Guard, granting the ability to spin the arc staff and reflect projectiles back at enemies. Reflecting amplifies arc staff damage by 3 times. My first thought is this seems kind of more like a defensive style of Ark Strider, like being able to disorient enemies and get away and maneuver by like sliding, and the Whirling Guard being able to just put up a guard in general. And I'm assuming Whirling Guard is going to take the place of dodge in your super for arc staff, so that's interesting. Next is going to be Titans. Sunbreaker, Code of the Devastator. Melee throws a small hammer that stays where it lands. Picking it up fully recharges melee ability and regens some health. Perk solar damage kills, increase player damage up to 3 times. Your super is called Siege Hammer. Giant flaming hammer that swings in wide arcs. Hits send out tornadoes of flame. This is pretty much Thor. Only difference is you'd be a god of flame instead of a god of thunder, but that melee sounds awesome. Like being able to throw your hammer, stays where it lands, you can go pick it up whenever to fully recharge your melee, get that hammer back, and regen some health. My only question is I wonder how much damage the melee throw actually does. Like how much damage is that hammer doing? The super sounds pretty cool. I really want to see how those tornadoes work on the ground, but I'm excited for some Titan. I need to go ahead and level mine up. Next, Stryker, Code of the Missile. The melee jump in the air, aim down at the ground, and fly into enemies. It's really just death from above from D1, which is kind of cool. And you can build super meter also, which is new. That's kind of dope. Picking up ammo while sliding instantly reloads your weapon. Successful reload through sliding will increase player damage for a short time. Your super is called Thunder Crash. Launching yourself through the air and smashing into the ground, aiming your path and hurting enemies along the way. This super pretty much just turns you into Iron Man. Again, like a Marvel hero. Death from above, I like that they're bringing that back and it builds super meter. The picking up ammo while sliding is going to be interesting. I wonder how much more damage it does. But next is Sentinel, Code of the Commander. The melee is pretty simple, it causes explosions, but the perk, Void ability damage, attaches a Void detonator to the target. Dealing damage to a target with attached detonator causes it to explode, creating a chain reaction that attaches detonators to surrounding enemies. Your grenade, player, and allies will regain some grenade energy when detonators explode around them. Now, as cool as that sounds, it seems like something I'm going to have to see for myself to fully understand, but it sounds like a one-man wrecking crew / human graviton land, so that's going to be kind of interesting. But the super, shield now creates a wall of light that blocks incoming damage when player is guarding. Allies can shoot through the barrier. Definitely something that can be really useful as far as a support type class. Fully Sentinel support type class, shooting through a barrier with your allies and just having a full wall of light blocking damage is kind of dope. Next though, Warlock time. Voidwalker, Attunement of Fission. Melee generates a Void explosion ahead of the Warlock. Perk, Void ability kills, restore ability energy and health. Grenade, holding the grenade button eats the grenade and causes an explosion near the Warlock. Your super is called Nova Warp, using a few short range teleports before making an explosion around yourself. The first thing I'm curious about is what's the difference between the grenade and melee, because they both sound pretty similar as far as an explosion near the Warlock. And then for your super, what's the blast radius like? Like I wonder, is it going to be bigger than a Nova Bomb, smaller than a Nova Bomb, same size? Because that's going to be pretty important. But as for the Stormcaller, Attunement of Control, melee fires out an orb of electricity that explodes, sending a lightning bolt into the ground. Perk, kills with arc damage occasionally leave ionic traces. Each time players collect a trace, they regain some ability energy. Your super is called Chaos Reach, sends out a beam of damaging energy, can shut off the beam before using an entire super. Now the super pretty much sounds like a Kamehameha wave, so as a Dragon Ball fan I love that, but my question is, since you can shut off the beam before using the entire super, does that mean you kinda can just keep it around? Like use a quarter of it, use half of it, and then keep the rest and get your super back even quicker because it's not empty? Like that could be broken, so we're gonna have to see what that looks like in person and also how much damage it does. But last but not least is Dawnblade, Attunement of Grace. Melee burns enemies and buffs allies. I'm thinking that's kind of be like Empowering Rift somewhat. Your perk, any healing or buffing abilities regenerate non-super abilities. Grenade, holding the grenade will turn it into a blessing, which can heal allies and drop overshield orbs. And your super is called Well of Radiance. Stick your sword into the ground to create a large rift that both heals and buffs allies. This is automatically going to be one of, if not the best support class in the game. Like having that super being able to make a large rift that both heals and buffs allies, and then pair that with something like Lunafaction Boots, allowing everybody to not even have to reload. And then the grenade, you can hold it and bless your allies and drop some overshield orbs. Like all of that is really cool and useful, so that's dope. But that is it as far as these brand new 9 supers coming to Destiny 2 with the Forsaken expansion. Definitely a lot of cool things coming and some other things we're going to have to see for ourselves to fully understand and just see how they work out for ourselves. But as for this video though, that is going to be it, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like it and subscribe to the channel. There's always much more content on the way, and I'll see y'all later.